Well, hello people, and welcome back to part 36, if you can believe it already, 36 weeks of Rannoch. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Heading down the arterials here. I always start out, every time I load into this map, with a little fly down an arterial. I think there's few experiences in video gaming, quite like a little bit of CS1 vanilla, isn't there? Absolutely love it. Either way everyone, welcome back to our vanilla Boreal build today. I'm going to head to the end of this arterial down here. And we have a bit of an awkward space filler episode. We do have city limits imposed upon us here. As we approach the edge of the 25 tile radius on this side, which is what we're going to do today, going at this space and then talking about kind of the wider 25 tile project, we have the international airport, which I'll set over here. There's also the dam project to do as well. And then there's all this stuff down here, so I think we'll still be in 25 tiles for a little while longer yet before we move to 81. And then in terms of what's in 81, a lot of the land honestly within the 81 radius is pretty unbuildable, especially all this out here. We'll never get out here. But I think there's still some spaces this side of the map really. A lot of this stuff will end up being expanded, but yeah, projects for future egg regardless, I think. But either way, let's get stuck into a awkward edge of map space filler episode, shall we? Some natural expansion with some nice ideas up against the highway over here. So first things first, let's bring our road across the river. Now, do we just want to, I guess I need to kind of eye up where I want this trajectory to go. So it's going to come through here to eventually meet up with a major interchange that I imagine will probably sit on this straight section of highway, with the rail going somewhere in that configuration, but we'll come to that bridge when we get to 81 tiles, I suppose. So I think just straight across, are we happy for a little bit of humpback, so to speak, for lack of a better phrase? I don't mind how the bridge just pops up like that. And then we can probably use this road that we set up over here last time as a bit of a guide really. So if we do, I mean that's a 22 to 21 curve, I'm not going to get it much more perfect than that. And then that can go over there to eventually meet up with that major interchange. In terms of what that will be, I'm always happy to use the Teddy Radco service interchanges these days, if I can find them. So it's too big. It's way too big. I could do a little trumpet system here. That would probably fit. It's likely to be a service interchange though, rather than a system interchange, I think. So in that one there looked like it sat pretty nicely, didn't it? Probably something like that, maybe. One of these. That one, pretty much perfect, isn't it? But yeah, we'll see what we can do with this regardless. But this does allow us to have a road coming down here, which should also take a bit of pressure off of this interchange here. Now they can get over there. We'll see how that performs. So second to this development, it's been a while since we've had a train station on this line. It doesn't stop now until it reaches this intercity connection over here. So I think all the way down here is going to be a good time. We lost all this housing. We have. I don't know why you've all abandoned. Was it noise pollution? It probably was, wasn't it? I bet actually. Yeah, although high density should be okay here. Can we go to sound barrier? We'll do a sound barrier instead then. That might help them stay around a little bit longer. And I think we'll just go for the classic plazas and promenades elevated station again. That seems about right there, doesn't it? And we can blend that road into the infrastructure. And then let's bring this in. That's probably going to be a bit too steep there, isn't it? See if we can take another segment out of that. Yes, not too bad. And then of course we do want this to be accepting intercity trains because it is going to be just an intercity connection. In terms of what we're going to do for internal connections, which is something I would like to have a look at. Do we want this one here? I'm not sure if I really want people going back out onto this arterial. I guess we'll trial it. We'll see what happens. I should be okay there. And then bringing out these networks, we can start to map out some zonings that I'll set over here. Get those two connected in as well. Then we'll send that straight across and we can have some nice sort of plaza action out the front here, I think, right? So given the fact that this is such a big important intersection again, I'd love to have kind of larger important assets. We've done similar things over here with the shopping centre. We have a train station on one corner, so I feel like another larger entertainment asset on this corner will really help this intersection just seem that bit more important. So we also have Metro to bring under here as well, don't we? So this one here Doesn't need to stop around this way, there's already metro coming this direction. We could stop it in here maybe, and then have it come down the arterial. I think that's what we'll do. Let's arrange some stations to accommodate that. So, kind of need you on every other orientation, but the one I can get you on, of course. I think we can make it work here. So let's have that one go under. And then hopefully this isn't too much of an offensive curve, it shouldn't be. Let's do that in a straight connection actually, can't we? That's actually quite tasty. Now this will then curve this way and arrive over here as some kind of major metro plaza. And of course if we're going underground metro station within a new development, it's got to be a bad peanut station, hasn't it? This one's not too bad. Could have the bypass, although we won't be using the bypass line here. Likewise, this one's always such a nice kind of massive hole in the ground though, isn't it? I think we'll go with that one. And then let's get this plugged in and flowing. So this line now extends all the way over to the developments we made at the stadium last episode. All the way back to here now, and underground in a new direction. We also need to get this one moving as well, don't we? There's a line there that's quite clogged up. Let's have a little look if we can adjust that. Let's come to our transit. We want metro ridership here. It's this one here, Metro Line 6. I really need to name these. Just kidding. So it could be Metro Line 6, okay. This has way too many people on it. And I think it's just a capacity issue. Pretty much, I don't want to have all the same subway train. I mean, I guess they are underground, so it doesn't matter a ton. But let's put the 660 capacity there. And see if we can clear the backlog that's sat at the station. But busier every week now, isn't it? Literally, the highlight of Rannoch has been coming back here, hasn't it? Just to watch this beast every week get busier and busier. It's even hitting the frame rate now as well, isn't it? And that's when you know it's good. The public transit, oh my god, yes. Hello people, where are you all going? You're moving down a level? I hope so. Goodness gracious. This is not fantastic. God, I love this game. Come on, pull yourself away, Egg. We have to go build. We have to go and build. But wonderful either way, right? That gets busier and busier every week. We'll check in again at the end of the episode. And let's see how that's getting on. I think. Wonderful. So to accompany our metro train editions here, wouldn't mind kind of developing a bit of a truck stop here, if you like, for people getting off of the highway. Maybe some hotels and whatnot. And then also adding in, I think, kind of a smaller, more discreet stadium over here as well. I've been looking through some unique buildings that I might want to use, and I think I'm feeling the Theatre of Wonders. I wouldn't mind having this in and around my kind of main plaza over here, I think. This is where I'm more inclined for it to reside. Now this is going to be a building that clashes with airport aprons, isn't it? It is indeed. That's somewhat okay though. I think what I will do is actually, because I want to have kind of a bit of a concrete forecourt around the edge of this. And then with these leftover bits of apron that are sticking out, we can blend these in with some kind of car parking or something along the lines to make them functional, I think. Super. So something to that extent, and then there's loads of things we can do here, feeding pathways across, which is where we'll create our walkable space. Especially in around this little hole in the ground. A little bit of depth in there will always go a long way, won't it? So we can have a theatre out here. This is going to be quite a big attraction, I think, for the space. I also want something fairly large over here. I wouldn't be averse to another stadium. We've still got quite a few to use from Bad Peanuts Park. Alongside shopping malls as well, we've still got one more outdoor mall to use. And I do enjoy a mall stadium space. It's always a classic combination, isn't it? Maybe we'll get this in here as well today, though. Let's pay priority toward the stadium, though, because they're the biggest assets. So again, I'm not after like an enormous arena here. This isn't the setting for that. So something toward this end of the arena, something a bit more discreet. Medium soccer arena might actually be quite nice. I'm going off the name there. It is, of course, actually known as football. But just something a bit more discreet here. Then maybe we can tether a bit of a pedestrianised mall space on the back of it there. Some nicer apartments and whatnot lining the main road. I think might be quite nice. I think we'll run with that. I definitely don't just want the stadium right here though. Let's just bump it over there for right now. Now we'll grab ourselves some non-parking roads. We want a road length angle and grid. Again, I think the aesthetic of any stadium always has to follow with car parking, doesn't it? So let's get some of those in. We'll have them right up against the arterial. Pretty much sits and fits there as well, doesn't it? And we'll probably feed this complex using the river as a border. So let's have it go there. We'll do one more. I guess we'll keep it symmetrical. It'd be quite nice, won't it? Have another entrance in there. This can also come up to this development over there as well. And then we can have this come up and around the river, which is likely where Ashby Gardens will come to a close here as well. I've just noticed you guys are also outside of the district. My apologies, you're going to have to totally redevelop your homes now. Ashby Gardens is European suburbia. Cool, I'm liking that. Let's see if we can centralise the stadium there, which it does indeed. Yes, please. Isn't that perfect? Isn't that perfect? Cool. I think maybe a bit of fancy grass lining or something then there, right? And let's give that a nicer tree. Let's do Linden. If in doubt, Linden is always the way to go, isn't it? Cool. So let's switch over to some pedestrian roads then. Let's do this one here, which by the way, if you're missing plazas and promenades, you can get an instant gaming. Or insanely cheap now. It does massively improve your gameplay experience, plazas and promenades. It's definitely one of the unique, better DLCs the game received over its life, I think. I'm almost kind of tempted to downgrade this into a into this road. Yeah, small 2-lane, 4-lane. I think if this is going to go kind of off into the hills and far away one day, probably meeting up with this road. I guess so. Let's map that out now because we can actually draw it in here. I want to come up a little bit, and then I want you to sort of curve up here. And at some point in probably the far distant future, you will ascend this ridgeline, probably as a high-speed national road. Because this is probably the most obvious way up this mountain, isn't it? For when we might do some mountain village stuff up here, I think. And what a wonderful view to Rannoch. Isn't it big now? Remember making the launch trailer up here? It was just an empty map. I was like, oh, what will it look like one day? And now it's... we're up to, I don't know what, probably halfway done or something crazy, right? Mental. I mean, if it fits and sits, it's the rule, isn't it? It is the rule. Can we airport open this? We can. We can. Which definitely gives that more sort of service and purpose there, doesn't it? I can definitely blend that with a bit of industrial fencing as if it's a delivery area for them all. Quite happy with that. We've got Ocean City Mall logo right next to the stadium. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that then. And then with the back of this, we'll also name our stadium today as well. Right, we're going to give it a new district theme. I'm going to name this after one of our longest standing patrons, the retired Mandalorian, who's been around since I very first set my patron up, a true hero of the people, and we'll go for the Mando Arena. Thank you so much for your years of support, Mando. I really appreciate you, mate. You are the definition of a true blend of secret herbs and spices. I think we'll go with a bit of silver birch, maybe. Although I am a bit wary of getting too tree spicy here. So I think we'll only tree line the roads around the stadium. Everything else can be grass lined, I think. Yeah, I'll be happy with that. So this should become extraordinarily busy on match days, especially with intercity trains, internal metro and internal tram. Wouldn't also mind, I mean this interchange is already pretty busy. I don't really want to load. I was thinking maybe more intercity buses. But there's already one over here. So more intercity buses is just going to make this busy. It's already pretty much at its limit. I'm desperately waiting to get this one hooked in so people can come off this way as well, because this is becoming a bit of a bottleneck around here now. It's starting to get busy, so I want to be careful with that really. But with the Mando Arena, let's give this a... You want to go Green Cities? I feel like we've done a lot of shopping mall stuff. Shopping mall just goes so well with the pedestrian roads though, doesn't it? Yeah, let's do shopping malls then, it's fine. And let's just configure some more zonable spaces here. After those back-to-back zonings for the pedestrian mall. Take the zoning off of the road as well. Probably also take the zoning off of that road too. And all of this, so we can have it sat on the pedestrian street, I think. Quite happy with that. Let's get that growing in. And I'm not too precious about it. Let's just do one big block there. Same over here too. Shopping malls is definitely one of those ones you can kind of bulk zone in. Definitely one of the better ones, I think. Might as well fill in these tiny little corner bits too. Yes, of course, you all will want a service area. Let's bring that in. Is the one over here already? Might be able to steal one. No, is the answer to that. Yeah, okay, we do need a new service point then. That's okay. It shouldn't need a huge one, this area. It's only about really small. So we'll do a small pedestrian area service point. And, oh, can I even blend that in with the station there, actually? Are we happy with that? Yes. Yes, we are. I can detail around this. That would be great. Always like to try and integrate these service points in as part of sort of municipal admin, if you like. Yeah, they definitely blend in quite nicely when you use them like that. Yep, and all this just to be pedestrian district, no problem at all. And all this as well. Let's see if we can change the colour here to a bit of a silvery grey, I think, after the Mandalorian's colours. Something like that. A bit more of a discreet modern arena, isn't it now? Cool. You guys gonna use my pathway? Please walk across. But I'm pretty happy with that from this point of the highway as well, you know, mentioning how we wanted this intersection to be surrounded by kind of larger infrastructure to make it seem a bit more kind of grandiose. Like you've got a supermarket that way, but this way now you can see stadium and outdoor malls. This way you've got kind of transport infrastructure, and then the final way you have the view to towers and the downtown. So this could possibly be my favourite intersection in the game now. I really like this main road through here. In the eternal crawl of density, we are still, I guess we're coming into low density here now, aren't we? We've definitely fell away from kind of the medium vibes, so we'll keep that going here as well. At Main Street, let's line this with commercial where we want it. I want to keep these areas around the intersection free. I don't want people stopping and starting here. It'll cause traffic. These car parks are placed on that road, so that will be okay. And I guess we'll just keep that zoning going straight down here then toward the river. Be happy with that. We can get some nice overgrowth patterns around there. And then just let this grow up into a big area. Over here, I think I'd like a bit more significant parking infrastructure for a train metro station and what is now a theatre. You won't go in there, that's fine though. Let's move up a tile. Let's move up a few more tiles. Let's go to that one. Turn our zoning here as well. Cool. And let's do a multi-story in this way. Let's grab ourselves this one here. I won't even be insanely against two of these back to back actually. I'm actually going to upgrade this road here into a thicker one. And I can place it and then downgrade it back into what it was. Then it'll just separate it a tile apart. And then we can have that go down there as well. Make sure they've also both got that same external kind of mesh on them as well. Cool, happy with this. This also allows us to complete the zoning around here, although I did mention I want some detailing. So let me do that as well. I want all this to be concrete, and then we can have this as kind of commercial service area, if you like. And then all this can just become commercial zoning again as well. Don't really want the shopping malls this side of the arena though, so let's just trim that back a touch. There we go. And then Ashby Gardens can also extend right up here as well. Ashby Gardens is likely to cross over this way. You know, happy just to keep that low density core going, although we probably should put an end to Ashby Gardens at some point because it's already bloody enormous. We do need to be careful with it. Cool. So this is looking not too bad. I wouldn't also mind stealing a little bit of this Green Cities district. So we have had some people also asking when are we going to get a Green Cities Canal district. And we will do one. But then we'll do it elsewhere, maybe the other side of the street where we've been building recently. It's kind of a staple of our cities now, isn't it? But not over here, I think it's too small. Canals would look really awkward around here, I think, especially with the river. But I wouldn't mind some further Green Cities developments against the river and the infrastructure over this way. So let's bring a road out from this way. So let's see if we can develop some nice riverside Green Cities residential through here. feed the blocks up through here. Just gonna make it all totally straight and curvy. Let's see if we can bring in... Not make it all totally rigid lines though. Let's try and bring in some curves where we can. I wouldn't mind a bit of a kind of local sort of allotment, if you like, here for people living the Green Cities life. Let's throw in a... so we'll get a bit of wall-to-wall commercial there, will we? Yeah, because that's the same district over there, isn't it? Do we mind wall-to-wall down here? I probably do mind it, actually. I think we will take that away. I think I just prefer vanilla. Let's just trim that district back a touch. Off this first block, maybe. There we go. And then, again, I don't want this to become too dense, so we're just going to do various different zoning sizes here. Looking to generate different sized and shaped towers. Nothing too uniform, I think, is my point of development here. Again, remembering our master skyline crawl, I don't want kind of major green cities towers over here. Definitely not the types of ones that are in the downtown skyline themselves, these ones over here. So I think more historical, at a relatively low level over this way. Just a bit more of a modern kind of apartment development is what I want, really. So these sorts of buildings are perfect. This one on the left is about my threshold for height. Let's have a bit more density closer toward the car parks over here too. Wouldn't mind also boxing these in if we can. And how about a nice pathway in between? Just onto the grid. Yep, be happy with that. Although I think we'll do no trees though, while the car parks already have trees on them. Cool, we can have this grow. We are having some education warnings. Finally, we are on the precipice of high school and elementary. Well, there you go then. Isn't that just the ideal situation for a joint campus? Which I guess now I'm looking at it, I wouldn't mind it possibly here. Okay then, let's do that. Just going to take away these residential sections for a second. Well, since now we know we need a school campus, let's develop this in this space as well. So I'd like a European high school, I think. Let's have that there. What does that push our high school availability to? Just into the green. What we actually like for high school budget? Yeah, it is reduced. It's okay though. We will need a school over here because there isn't one for quite a while, is there? There's no schools over here actually. Elementary. There's one further down the road. But even then, yeah, there's not an enormous amount of education this way, so that's fine. We can keep developing it. But yeah, so we'll have the high school in here. Let's also pair that with an elementary school. We'll treat it as if it's kind of part of the same campus together, if you like. I don't think I want the European high school here, though. Green cities, I think. Yeah, I think that might be the way. And then I'd like to make it again as if it is kind of one larger campus space. Bring in some apronage there. And again, with the power of pathway, we can have people walking in around our school campus here, which I think might be quite nice. We've got room for a pitch. I wouldn't mind a bit of bad peanut action if we can grab the varsity sports thing. Not varsity sports, just regular sports. Community baseball field. Baseball is quite big in Rannoch. And then can we also do a playground, I wonder? Do a small playground here. Or we could just do the simple city park one actually, which is a bit more discreet. We still need to do an amusement park. We haven't done that yet either. How about if we just have that one tucked in there? And then let's have the pathway come around the side. And then we can probably squeeze in some car parking for the school. Straight next door. Okay. Goodness gracious. Sweet. Disgusting. Horrible, nasty assets. I'm pretty happy with all these, to be honest. There's such a nice selection of assets in the vanilla pool now, isn't there? Just really want to avoid that surviving Mars stuff. But you guys should begin to perk up with the education now. Then again, even then, elementary school isn't fantastic, is it? Okay, maybe we will just bump up that budget a touch then. Let's go for 90% funding. Yeah, that pushes us very healthily back into the green for all 3 education types now. But we did need a campus over here regardless, so I'm happy to build that out there. And that should be quite a nice transition over there too. You okay? High cargo traffic? Seriously? You really complain of high cargo traffic in that space? Okay. Oh, it's regular cargo traffic. Okay then. I was reluctant to give you another service point, but we'll upgrade you if you really want it. Let's see if we can delete this one. And then there is a space right there for this one. And then we'll just have this as our new service point. Should still be fairly easy to blend in, that one. Yeah, we'll be able to do the pretty similar sort of thing to it. So that should give the capacity that this district wants anyway. Cool. Let's have a little just re-evaluation of how this is flowing down here. I'm pretty happy with it because we're kind of falling back into, you know, the suburban dream at this part of Rannoch, so I want to make sure the zoning is looking like that. And we can see that grander crawl now, can't we, back up to these high density areas. Which I think is such an important part of building in CS, you know, is maintaining the design of originally what you had in mind. Metro station's 185, how about the one in the city centre, which was here? 178. And then downtown. 2,300, that's a new record, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is. I think the last one was 2,100. But that backlog has finally cleared now as well. Very nice indeed. Public transport is going as efficiently as possible, I think, in downtown Rannoch. Very happy with that. I'm very happy with the flow that's developing down this road now. I would just like to hop across to the other side of the river, where I think I'd like to develop a bit of a highway rest stop, a bit of a truck stop, whatever you want to call it, over here. So I think what we will do is, obviously this tram turnaround point is temporary, this won't be here forever. But I think I'd like to use a few assets. So let's dive into the world of creator stuff. I know I want the motel from mid-century modern. I'd also have one of these over here, actually, you know. Don't mind having one of these around this way, although we keep pushing the hotels theme. I should probably be using the hotels DLC. So we need to level up that chain, don't we? But it's fine. Let's not get distracted. I also do want the hotels chain DLC here. The motel. Have that there as well. And then how much modern Japan stuff do we have left over? Quite a lot actually. We haven't really used any of these buildings. I wouldn't mind one of the shopping yards over here too. Maybe here actually. We could kill that connection. And have one of the Japan shopping centres here. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I always appreciate a logo for a larger plaza like this, and that meets my criteria. We'll leave that in. We'll just see. We'll see how that grows on us. So we to get distracted again. I'd also like to have one of the modern Japan sort of rest stop buildings in here. Maybe driving restaurant's a bit small. Service station and restaurant I think I'll have somewhere else. I think probably the noodle restaurant is probably the best option, I think. Yeah, so just off of the highway, I'd like it to be aligned by the highway as well, if at all possible. Then we'll have our roadside motel. We want it right by the train line there. No, I think we'll tuck it on the inside. Have the motel there. Let's deforest this a little bit as well so we can see what's going on. And then I'll also have my roadside diner somewhere around here too. Let's bring that down there. Also don't want a traffic light on that either. Let's have the roadside diner just next door. I wouldn't also mind a bit of commercial in here as well. If we can generate one of the little gas station buildings, that'll be perfect. I'm pretty sure they're 4x3, aren't they? We'll do some different sizes. See what we can get in. And then also the noodle restaurant, if we can have that there. And of course, any service station, it wouldn't be complete without some car parking. We'll have that there. There may be another entrance into it there as well, but no traffic light on this one. Too, probably down there as well, actually. Let's turn that off. Okay. I think that looks like the gas station, doesn't it? It does not even look remotely like the gas station. That's okay, though. But yeah, things like Pancakes International, marketplaces are all good. Things you'd expect to find at the service station. Got some trees in here too, definitely against the river too. Probably take this quite overgrown, I think, these little channels that are developing alongside the river. I want it to kind of look like a service stop here as well from the highway. I can even envision a little express road actually off of the I guess what we would consider highway roads. Just something like that. As a direct access into the services if you're getting off the highway here. Yeah, another Starlight Motel is more than welcome. Car wash is more than welcome, yeah. I'm going to delete you. I think I do want the aesthetic of the gas station in here if we can get it to grow. And maybe a little park over here. Send that off that way. And I suppose if we're going to have infrastructure over this way, we might as well also get the tram to stop as well. So that can start this way and that way. Oh yes, there you go. Second time lucky. Perfect. I knew. Wait, which one was it? It was 3x4, not 4x3. There we go. That's the one I wanted. But foul oil, I think is pretty good. Lots of car parking, lots of food, and lots of beds is the vibe I wanted here. So I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. That's exactly what I had in mind. We can have that sit over there as a bit of a highway rest stop. Then in terms of you, old Chungus, how do we think about it? Do I like it from here? Just kind of block this view a bit, doesn't it? But I think I can get away with it. Isn't the other one a little bit smaller? I think it is, isn't it? Where is it? Yeah, the railway station department store. Which also is very appropriately placed next to the railway, so I think that's the one. I think we'll send the Prado building somewhere else. We can save that for another high density development maybe. Down here, we can have a bit more high density commercial vibes and use the Prado centre there, but something a bit kind of overpowering, I think, about it sat over here. So I think we'll go with the railway instead, since it's aptly named and positioned, and isn't as dominating, I don't think, as the other one is. I also wouldn't mind using the Korean food alley over here as well with the pedestrian area stuff. How about if we squeeze you right on the corner? Try to delete this and just let that regrow in slightly chunkier buildings. I think we'll get on board with the food alley, I think. We'll have that there. There's also the UJoy Entertainment Agency as well, which is a bit more of a smaller, cute building. Near enough fits and sits in there. Okay. I think I can get on board with that as well. But otherwise, I'm happy with how this area is developing. We've got lots of public transport through here now. Schools, residential, commercial, stadiums, unit buildings. It's all come together quite nicely, I think. So I think we'll move into a detailing time-lapse. I want to bring Ashby Gardens across the road and basically up to the river just so we have more outer-lying residential. And then that pretty much leaves us at the tile boundary, doesn't it? We'll have this as more outer-lying residential as well, so this kind of crawl of Ashby Gardens continues around the ridge of this mountain as it comes across the river. And then detail up all these little awkward spaces around the river. Over here we've got some detail to do in between our towers. And then decide what's going to happen between the no man's land between the highway and this new development. I'm not really sure what I want here. Maybe some offices, although industrial demand's very low in the city at the minute. So I guess we'll see as the detailing time-lapse grows on. But it can be challenging, these awkward space fills, especially when we're approaching a tile boundary. But I think we can pull it off. And look at that for a view. Isn't that fantastic? I love that. Really nice. But either way, I'm sure it'll be better once we've detailed. So let's get stuck into that, and then we'll be right back. around our edge of map tile development, shall we, if you like. So just as a side note, we will 100% have a first person tour down this road one day. It holds a very impressive view running down here now. And also goes pretty much all the way across the map. You can trace this arterial right through the middle of the city. And all the way back to the highway down here by Atlantic. So first person tour of that incoming soon, I think. It's a really nice little drive regardless. But either way, heading into the plaza, we'll swing by to the residential. There's some park props in here, trampoline parks, giant chessboards, things you would expect to find in kind of a family-friendly mall. It always blends in wonderfully well with the Korean street food market and then the Ocean City Mall unique asset, which is very nice to have kind of the brand, isn't it? There's a lot of this happening in this build actually. And then the stadium. It does sits really nicely in this big kind of pedestrian district here. Definitely one of my favourite stadium assets. It's quite small and discreet. Not absolutely kind of this enormous arena. But that's getting some use as well, of course. And then this just sits really nicely now on this hillside as we will eventually leave kind of civilized Rannoch for the hills of Rannoch at some point. For some mountain village action, I imagine. And I kind of sat from the road here. Again, super impressive view to downtown and medium to high density areas of the city from up this way. Into our plaza, we have another road coming down here with statues, bathrooms, walkable concrete space, of course, always so impactful around a unique building, isn't it? And this theatre really opens this all up. And there's some pretty nice detailing with the statues, this half kind of like crescent moon thing. I kind of put them to mirrored, which I can't believe I've not done this before. Such a cool, obvious configuration, isn't it, for this asset? So just some public modern art, if you like, with statues tucked into the side of the building, so it sort of makes it look like it is part of the building. Obviously given kind of vanilla collision boxes on them. And then there's pathways around here, and then lots of bollards around this way. Coming on to a little plaza design here at the front of the shopping centre. You can see what I mean again by having a brand or a logo exposed to the plaza really makes a huge difference, doesn't it? So really love that. Definitely the right asset as well. I think the other one was just a little bit too big for what I was trying to go for there. I knew it wasn't right as soon as I placed it. I was like, no, it's too dominant. And a wonderful view across the corners there, right? I'm so happy with this. And it has kind of devolved into another transport hub again. I am aware. There's 202 people coming through this stop right now, and then coming through in the middle one. Have we hit a new record maybe with the new transport? Oh, very close. Oh yes, look at that, another platform's already backed up. So that train line that we actually moved today is also going to want a new train model on it, isn't it? Because it's just relentless. It's this one here, Metro line number 7. I hate using the same train everywhere. Can we do the 500 one? Maybe the 500 one will clear it. It should do. I think. But yes, another supremely busy week for Rannoch Central Metro Plaza. That gets busier every episode. I'm so happy with that. I love that it just keeps getting more and more insane every video. It allows us to keep going back for it. And then over here behind the what's it called? Service point over here. Just some extended fence work. The trees are part of the asset. I can't get rid of them, unfortunately. If you do, and I'll play with mods, Bob will sort this out for you. But of course, we are vanilla here in this series. And then looking down Main Street, just that low density commercial vibe kicking in again. Carefully chosen assets. It just completes a nice high street. You've got some duplication here as well, which is quite nice. In the school, we have some parking. It did burn down slightly. And then this pathway runs through and around the field to the back with car parking and hedge lining around here. Into those green city apartment blocks that we have up here too. There's also some more of them at the opposite side of the train station here as well, with a little highway access road that has a fence on it that comes down here as a slip lane. Getting back on the highway. It's not too busy at the minute actually, but there are the occasional car choosing to get back on the highway this way if they're leaving the map. And then we also have some little details down here as well. It's a bit of riverside detailing, perhaps if you're going to kayak out under the bridges into the open strait. Or I guess you could head back upstream. Has the river actually changed direction yet? Yeah, it has, I think, just about. Either way, it's a very slow river, so they should be alright to kayak on it. And then there's also a park area here too, so we can have one of the lean-tos with some signage, of course, perhaps warning you of the dangers of kayaking in an estuary. But still, a lot of fun for the Sims regardless, as long as they can survive. And then there's parks tucked in between these Green Cities towers as well. But that brings us back to the main road where all the riverbanks have just been overgrown. There's trees, overgrowth all the way through here back to the rivers. Next to the highway rest stop, we're tucked in a bit of service industry. There is some industrial zoning here waiting to grow, but we just have no industrial demand in Rannoch at the minute. So, which is usually the other way around. So these pockets will fill with residential. There's also some in here as well. But just a Sunset Harbour service building and 2 garbage recyclers. So the city has some kind of garbage refuse because there's not any garbage collection. I think the port is the nearest one for here. If not, it'll be this site over here. So it is kind of like really far away. So we definitely need to develop kind of another much larger, I think, industrial battery for this side of the city with sewage and garbage collection, things like that. A bit more service industry as well, or zoned industry for people's jobs and whatnot. But we'll get to that as an eventual 821 tar project alongside the stadium. I'm also planning to put over here as well. I think we'll kind of morph this land into a bit more of a shape and have a kind of grander arena, maybe purpose-built for a competition hosted in Rannoch, kind of a like a purpose-built World Cup stadium or something like that, maybe. On the shoreline there, I think might be quite a lot of fun. And then we just spill out into more European suburbia here, as the same did Ashby Gardens, but we've named it after our wonderful patron, Gillian Prestis, and called it Prestis Hills. Thank you for all your support, Gillian. Appreciate you. Tons and tons, my friend. So you will take over Ashby Gardens. What's this there? This district has flowed for ages all the way around the bottom of this mountain here. We will change it up a little bit as it crosses over the river, and pretty much this vibe will continue. You know, it's kind of what we've done today is you know, what we've done over here in previous iterations. We've kind of created that outer line low density that looks into these medium and high density districts. We're essentially wanted to recreate this as 81 tiles open up this side as well. So we'll expect to see kind of similar themes and designs through here. I'll probably fill this in some streams, I imagine, and then develop kind of the final interchange, I think, before Rannoch civilization falls away, and we'll just kind of devolve again into countryside here. We could eventually fill it all with like medium density, but we will hit node issues if we do that, because we're also going to do the same down here as well. So try to be careful of the nodes, so we won't go all the way with this medium density, but similar themes to what we're having along our kind of outer lying area, if you like, of this kind of medium density downtown transition district that we're working on here. Massive shout out to the patrons that support the channel with a roll call to our golden eggs: Louis Adlam, Andrew Perez, Oh Hey Casino, Phoenix MD, and Bad Wolfo. If you want to get involved in that, links down to Patreon and Instant Gaming are the best way to support the channel if you so wish. There's some good deals to be had in Instant Gaming. Check it out as well if you're missing any of the DLCs that we've used in today's episode. I'll say it again every week, thank you for the continued support on Cities Skylines 1, and thank you for continuing to enjoy Rannoch as much as you do, and keep your ideas and suggestions coming. They're always more than welcome. Either way, please enjoy the rest of your Monday if you're watching this on release, but I'll shut up and leave it there. Just thank you all so much indeed for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.